Well, guys, the weekend has started for me. So I just brewed up a pot of Earl Grey here. I don't know if you can see, but it's snowing again. Looks like we're gonna get another shot of winter before we're done. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the plow back on the Suburban, and you know, just in case it gets out of hand. And then we're gonna get moving on some other projects. So let's go ahead and get after it. And look at this. Got that new windshield put in. No more cracks, so we'll be able to take some way better quality plowing videos. Alright, we got the snowplow back on, facing out just in case. Now let's move on to the second project of the day. So my little hay burners here, yeah, as cute as they are, have busted my hayloft door. So this is where I store all the hay that I give my goats at a time. Storage is a premium around here, so I don't have a huge area to fill with hay. So I just put this up, and this door is supposed to stand up and keep them from eating, but they have pushed it over, knocked it down, and now they get up there and eat all the hay, which is a little counterintuitive to what I want them to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some measurements. Yeah, just like that. That's a bad goat. I'm going to take some measurements, and we're going to try and fix this weekend. So let's grab a tape measure and a notepad, and we'll take some measurements. Down goes Frazier. Oh man. Oh. Well, guys, yeah, this is quite the snow. It's been snowing for, I don't know, probably a little over 2 hours since I put the snowplow on. And yeah, we got a solid inch out here, and underneath it is straight ice. Oh, I just biffed it hard right here. Well, the snow has finally stopped. I think our final tally was just about 4 inches. But we got stuff to do, so let's go. Well, I don't think loggers are the footwear of choice for today. It is just too deep, so we're gonna go to the extra toughs. Let's get this Power Stroke cleared off so we can head into town and pick up some lumber for the goat door project. Just got some plywood and some 2x4s, so we are loaded up. We're gonna head back to the house, and it's actually starting to look kind of pretty out, so let's see if we can't get going on this day. Boy, that wind really picked up. I figured I better add another strap to this sheet of plywood I just picked up. I don't want it to go yard sailing through the ditch. Probably better get rid of some of this before we get rolling on this project. So I'm gonna park way out of the way. Let's go fire up a snowplow. All right, guys, we are back in the garage. We're gonna get going on this hayloft door project that we measured for yesterday. Using my little scraper here, we're just gonna clear some of this snow off of these boards I just hauled home. That out of the way. Alright, got that done. So if you remember the measurements that we took yesterday, we got to have this thing be 27 by just shy of 8 feet. Now I'm trying to decide, and I've been kind of mulling it over and thinking on it about which way I want these doors to open, and I really haven't come up with an answer. Sorry about that. That was probably loud on your end. I haven't really come up with an answer. I like the idea of it opening just flat down like it does right now. That's worked really good. It seems to work fine, but I'm almost thinking it might be easier to have them swing open barn door style. Just it'll let me get a little closer in there, and it'll let me keep the goats out more. So the first thing I want to do is let's mark this guy out for our 27 inches. 27 is my favorite number too, just in case you didn't know. So it's kind of funny that it worked out to be 27. So we're going to go ahead and use this little piece of trim as our saw guide, because, you know, like I said, I was too cheap to buy a track saw kit. But I want to check my depth here. Okay, so that way I can get this locked down. And I'm just going to let my saw run right alongside of it. So if anybody who sees this wants to, you know, hook me up with a track saw, I am not against getting one and giving you my honest opinion of it. Alright, got that guy locked down, this guy locked down. So now we'll just be able to run our saw right. We'll be able to run our saw right down this board. It'll look good. So I'm gonna go ahead and rip this. We'll be good to go. Just trying to do a little visualization here. If I have my door so it folds down, it's got to swing, the sides of my pen is narrower than the sides of the hayloft. So if I have it so it swings down like it is right now, I got to cut this thing to about 7 inches off of it. And if I do that, that might give the goats room to get a head in there and do that. So I think I'm gonna rip it barn door style. So I just got to cut this guy down. I'm gonna cut it right in half at 48 inches, and then we'll set up our miter saw, and we'll start cutting our 2x4s to frame this in kind of barn door style. Just like that, gentlemen, we have got our doors cut. Now we can go ahead and do some framing. Now, I just went with this OSB because it was cheap. I got it for $8, okay? And one thing that I've learned when it comes to these animals and livestock and such like that, I'm not going to spend a ton of money trying to make something look real pretty for a creature that, will destroy absolutely anything in its way in the name of food. So I feel like, $4 for some 2x4s and $8 for this piece of OSB. If I get 2-3 years out of it, I'm ecstatic. We'll go ahead and I'm going to try to build the frame nice and stout, so that way I might just have to replace the OSB down the road. But if I can get that kind of time out of it, I'm good with it. So I went ahead and marked out my 45s. I'm going to 45 all these cuts to try to give it some strength. So I marked these out. I'm going to go ahead and cut them on the miter saw, and I'll pick this up again for layout. Alright guys, let's go ahead and we're going to get everything set here. And I'm going to pre-drill my holes, so let's go ahead and get this guy open. We're going to use some of these, a couple different lengths of screws here. I've got some shorter ones, but that's plenty of meat in this corner. And then if we look here, I got some longer ones, and we're going to go up a little bit. So those are going to be our 2 fasteners. I'm going to do that in each of the corners. you guys haven't used these, let me take some screws out of my mouth. These parachute bags, I really like these. It lets you have 6 different types of screws or fasteners, and when you're done, you can just pull this rip cord here. Everything seals up, and then you can carry that around, and you just got all the fasteners that you need. And so these are from Duluth Trading, but there's a whole bunch of different ones out on the market. I think just about all your major brands have one, but they're designed too that they fit perfectly in a 5-gallon bucket. So I just have a 5-gallon bucket full of a couple of different types of these parachute bags with different fasteners in them. So like I got one for nails, one for screws, mixture of them, and then I've got them for fencing supplies. I just love them. It's so convenient to just be able to grab that and know you have enough fasteners to get you through the day, and you know, for the majority of your products or projects. We're gonna go ahead and screw this face down. Let's throw one on the side here. Some of these screws feel used. You know, saving resources wherever I can. Let's reach over here. There we go. So here is one door. So here's our first door finished. So now all we got to do is do all this one more time. Let's get this guy opened up. Oh man, I can't even. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pull this all the way off, I think. Because these goats have got this thing just destroyed. Dang thing wouldn't even shut right. All right. I'll just lean it up right there for now. And now we've got our big doors here. So what I really wanted to do was just kind of get everything sized up and figure out how it'll all fit. The answer to that question is not very well. So we might have to go back to the drawing board a little bit here. I didn't take into account that this stuck out. And then by all intents and purposes, I made this thing too tall. They're already fighting with it because they know it's going to keep them from eating the hay up here. This tiny drill bit that I have to use to start these holes, oh, likes to disappear on me. This is the smallest drill bit I have, and that's what I'm using to punch through this galvanized tube. Using Mac drill bits, of course, best drill bits in the world. Not sponsored, just the truth. Well, that's interesting. I am not liking the looks of that, gentlemen. But you know what? Unfortunately, we are gonna have to deal with it a little bit. I think I might go ahead and try and just maybe shim that up just a touch. Actually, I'm gonna only do let's do a 16 penny nails worth. Just enough. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. There we go. I like that. I like that. I think now it'll make it easier too for when I have to throw bales up in here. I'll be able to shut it. Huh. Well, would you look at that? We are actually a bit long. Here's what I'm using for the latch. Probably way more heavy duty than I really need, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put as heavy duty as I can get in there within reason. Well, that was almost a critical error. Okay, let's get this guy shut. I'm just gonna put it right about there. Oh, I hate Phillips head anything. So to add a little second layer of security, I put a second latch here, mainly because I had it and why not? But here we go. We got our, I can open that way too. I can pop this open and still get in if I just need to get into one side, or I can hit both and open it all the way up. So I'm happy with that. My goats are gonna hate it because they can't see all this. I put full bales up in here and you can see where they just jump up and they busted that door down and then they just started eating in here. So they will not be doing that anymore. So there you have it, guys. I think that was a pretty good look at fixing our door. I don't know about you, but I learned a lot just in the processes and what I got done. So I think that'll be a good lasting repair. Now it's time to clean up our mess and get this in the burn barrel. And we'll see you next time.